Hi Namita, how are you?
Very well. Thank you, Divya, Elena, Aradhana, and who else do I see here?
Yeah, people are joining as we speak, but we'll just get delayed if we don't kick off. So let's kick off and they.
Okay, all right. So, anyways, whoever's here, a big hello and welcome, and happy, beautiful morning to all of you. And just before I begin with the workshop, which I know you're enthusiastically waiting for, let me just briefly introduce myself. I'm Namita Malhotra. I'm a certified career and life coach, an ICF-PCC level coach, and I help my clients in one-on-one sessions to overcome whatever stress, anxiety that they're holding on to, which affects the quality of their life, not allowing them to live fully. And as a result, they feel a lot of overwhelm. And the purpose of this workshop today also is how do we live in a joyful state? And once we learn how we can create that for ourselves, it becomes very easy. Hi, Devansh. What we're going to do today is I have a presentation, a few exercises also that we're going to do. And while we do that, if you have any questions, feel free to write in the chat box or, just raise your hand if there's something that you need to ask, you want to clarify. Does that sound good? A little thumbs up or a yes in the chat box would be helpful. Great, thank you. Thank you. So, shall we begin or shall we just wait while maybe Aradhana, would you like to share why you're here? Why did you choose to do this workshop today? What's your purpose? And
Hi,
Devansh,
Yeah. Hi, Namita.
hi Aradhana.
Just a sec. Hi.
Hi, lovely to see you.
So, because it says, I mean, it's like, I kind of get it, like how you, it's up to you how you kind of make what you want to of your life or
Okay.
your, whatever. So I said, not a bad, I'd really like to know what your perspective is to it. Yes, we do hear about it quite a bit, read about it, but I was interested to know your perspective on it. And I'm the kind, basically, you never know what you learn from where. So
Thank you so
that's
much.
funny.
Thank you for sharing. We'll
Yeah.
take another one or two answers quickly. Devansh, Rukaiya, Priyanka, whoever wants to share, would you like to share? What are you expecting? What do you think it is about? Hi, yes, Priyanka.
Hi, Namita.
Hi, Priyanka.
Sorry, I just joined. So, what was the question?
My question was, the title of the workshop says Life by Design. What do you think it is and what brought you here today?
Well, I must say that the title is very intriguing, and
Okay.
that did play a big role in getting me here today.
All right.
But I think uh, it's probably, to do with, how you can be like how can you take the lead in shaping things for you rather than letting them happen for you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's take one more answer. Rukaiya, Amaka, Devansh, anybody wants to take a go at it? Okay. So I think with that, with what Aradhana and Priyanka shared so beautifully, uh, let me then share my presentation as well, and let's begin, right? Okay, are you ready? Can you all see?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
we can. Yeah.
great. All right. Okay, so here we are, life by design. And just as the title suggests, you know, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you really think it's possible to design your life? Anybody? Would you like to answer with a yes or no in the chat box? Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, Namita.
Akin says yes, it is absolutely Aradhana to some extent. Okay, great. And that brings me to the quote, which says, Tom Ford said, whether you believe you can or you believe you cannot, both are true. If you believe to some extent, that is also true, Aradhana. It's whatever you believe in drives you to where you are and where you're headed. And what does living a life by design really mean? It's being conscious and moving away from the thought that life is happening to me and moving to a space where I say, life is happening for me. Whatever is happening is for my own good, which also means that I have control over it, which also means that I can assume and take responsibility, 100% responsibility to say that whatever is happening, it's happening for me. And in the larger perspective, in the larger picture, in the fabric of life, everything actually is happening for me. It is leading me to where I'm meant to be. And why am I here today? I'm here because just like any of you, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, so I play both the roles. I play the role of a child, I play the role of a parent, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm a sibling. So multiple roles that we all play in life, and we all juggle between them. And there are different expectations to each role, but I've learned that it is possible amidst all of that to experience a state of blissfulness by retaining that the mind and reframing the mind, and it all begins
Um,
by
Sorry,
even
Namita,
yeah.
your screen is showing as a very small screen because you've put it on presenter view for Canva. Would you be
Okay.
able to just present instead of putting it as presenter views because we can very see a very
Okay,
small screen.
okay. So I'll reshare.
Yes, reshare, please. I'll
Yeah,
guide you.
second. Is this better? No, 1 second. There seems to be. Okay. Is this better?
It's the same, but there's a small button there, the diagonal arrows right next to the slide numbers. It just comes in. Yeah, that one. Can you
Mhm.
see that? Can you just press it? Yes. No, it's the same.
No,
Um,
okay, 1 second. Maybe I'll just close my Canva for a second and then restart it.
I think you can just share it from the PDF because the PDF will be showing full screen. Canva doesn't have the option to share properly. That's the issue.
Okay, 1 second. Not able to go back and stop share. Where do I stop share
You've
from?
stopped sharing already.
Okay, I've stopped sharing already.
Yes. Give us a minute,
Okay.
everyone. We'll just fix this view for you.
Okay, I mean, I'm ready to share it, share the,
Perfect. PDF.
is this better?
Much better. Just go into the file and do screen
Yeah,
into
just
full screen. There's an option for full screen in the browser or something in the
full screen. Okay, is this better?
yeah, there would be a full. Yeah, this is fine. I think it's better than the previous one.
1 second. Is this better?
Yeah, much better. You can
Oh.
go ahead. Thank you.
Okay. So, I mean, just as I was sharing, well, that's my family. And what I have learned is that by retraining the mind, it is possible to come out of that loop of automatic negative thinking and self-limiting beliefs. And today, I want you all to know that it is possible. It is very much possible for us to create a life that we desire, that we want to live, just by believing in it that you can do it. And what we do today is we're going to understand what conditioned mind is, how reality is created. What you're going to do is also become aware of your own belief system and then learning to live intentionally, discovering the secret to creating a life of your own dreams. Are you ready? Are you ready? Guys, tell me, give me a yes or no in the chat box.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So there are just 2 rules for today. You don't have to believe everything I say or like everything that I say. And why I say that is because what I say is my truth, right? And like I said, whether you believe you can or you believe you cannot, both are true. So what I want you to do is participate 100% with an open mind. And let's be non-judgmental towards anybody, including yourself. Whatever pops up, feel free to share. And then experiment with what you're learning today, because unless you experiment with what you're learning today, it'll just remain as something that you know of, but you don't really know it because you haven't experimented with it. So is that okay with everyone? And if you have a pen and a paper with you, why don't you just go ahead and on a scale of 1 to 10, write down, how do you rate the current state of your satisfaction? If you were to, you can also put them down in the chat box. Priyanka, Aradhana, anybody, any answers? Or if you don't feel like sharing, this is for you. So just quickly make a note of it, ask yourself, and ask yourself also, where would you like to go? And then ask yourself this question, do you truly know what your heart desires? Okay. Amaka says 7. Great. All right. Thank you. Do you really know what your heart desires? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a pause for a moment. Okay. And think about the one thing that you wish to change. Okay. Now write it down for yourself on a piece of paper and ask yourself, what is it that I truly want instead? Because most of us, what we do is we do have an idea of what we don't want. We go around saying, I just don't like this. I don't like that. I don't want, I don't like my boss because he's too bossy. He's always interfering. What do I want instead? Have I ever thought about that? I don't like my office place. There is so much toxicity there. There are all those toxic colleagues. But what do I want instead? I hate getting up in the morning. Okay, what do I want instead? Ask yourself those questions and write down what is the one thing that you wish to change, and what is the purpose of that? When you're done, you can give me a thumbs up or write in the chat box that done, so that we know, are we doing it together? How are we going about it? Okay, Armin says done. Anybody else? Have you, Armin, so have you also written, if there is, this is something that I don't like, this is something that I want to change, what and how specifically, what do I want from this? How do I want it to change?
Sorry, do you want me to share it or type it in?
Type it in, or feel free to, if you've written by yourself.
So there's a lot of self-talk that happens, be it negative or positive. I think
Yeah.
I want to try and control more of that.
Okay, all right. But when you
Be
say
it-
more, be in more control of that. Okay, so you're saying self-talk. Now that's what
Yeah.
I want you to highlight. What kind of self-talk? What is it centered around? Any specific? That's why I said one thing that you would want to change is you're saying too much of overthinking or self-talk, and you feel that self-talk is negative. Is that what you're trying to say?
Not really. It's just it's not negative. I don't think it's always negative. I think I've learned over a period of time to switch it towards a positive.
Okay.
But just that self-talk sometimes makes your day and makes your time counterproductive.
Okay. All right. Okay. Now let me help you understand through this what I mean here. Okay, do you see this R here? Right? The R is for result and reality. Now, if you'll agree, I'm sure most of you will agree with me, everything that you have today, be it the very fact that you're here today on the call with a bunch of us, I mean, your business, your children, your relationships with family, your relationship with friends, your state of finances, everything is this R, the current reality, which is a result of certain behaviors. Do you agree? Yes or no? If I continue to do certain things and work towards it, I get results in my life. And sort of. I mean, can you explain sort of?
Okay. So I feel that sometimes reality can be a perception as well. Your own reality can be your perception of how you're seeing it.
Oh, yes, 100%. But in terms of reality here, we're also talking about just plain and simple results in life for now. So
Mm.
all results that we have are dependent on the behaviors, right? If I have loving relationships, which means that there are times when I have invested time in those relationships, there are times when I've gone out of my way to do things. There are times I may have actually held back from, doing certain things which I know will um, create a disturbance in my relationship because that relationship is important to me. I may have even kept quiet sometimes. Sometimes I may have stood up and fought for that person. And at other times, I may have just simply kept quiet and agreed with what they're saying because it is important to me. Right? So the result of that is a sum total of the behaviors that I've exhibited towards creating that result in my life. And our behaviors are dependent on our states. And by states, what I mean is, how am I feeling? Like on days when I'm feeling very excited, days when I'm feeling very happy, I will probably overlook certain small irritabilities or things that other people do and not let it bother me. But on days when I'm feeling down and under and I'm feeling low, every small thing seems to bother me. And when that bothers me, my behavior changes. If I'm happy, I don't care what my friends are saying, and I don't care what other people say. I continue to do what I want to do, and I'm happy and I'm creating those results. And on days when I'm not feeling as excited or up and bright, I get bogged down by every small thing that somebody is saying, and my behavior is affected. I become irritable. I may pick up a fight. I may not do things that I'm supposed to be doing. I've just spent a day unproductively, and that also creates my reality. And our states are hugely dependent on our conditioning. By conditioning, what I mean is, how have I trained my mind? And I wasn't doing it consciously. My mind is trained at a very young age. I pick up certain belief systems from the world around me. It includes my parents, my school, my neighbors, what I watch, what I see, whether it is in terms of content, which is everywhere. These days, if you've noticed, children, I have seen, I don't know how many of you will agree, but there are small children who speak in an accent which is very different from what their parents talk in, or from school, right? Because they are spending a huge amount of time with those cartoons on a screen, and they actually begin to emulate or pick up that accent, also talk that way. So they are heavily influenced by it. So by conditioning, I don't mean only what we hear or learn from our parents or the education that we got. It's a sum total of everything and every experience that I've had. And I mean, that brings us back to what you just said, my perception about my reality, how I look at things. And if something has to change in my reality or my results, while I try to change my behaviors, I'm able to bring about a small change, and then it goes back. I do something, I make an effort. If I'm trying to, lose weight, or I'm trying to, exercise and I haven't done in the past, and I'm trying to create a different result, I keep swinging between these two, between this and this also. My state usually influences my behavior, while what is required is, if I bring about, go back, check, what is my belief around it? What am I thinking? What is influencing this? And then that allows me to create a more sustainable change in my behavior, in my state, and thus create a new reality. So while we are going to do this exercise today, and it is very powerful, it is very impactful when you clearly write down. And what we are going to do further on is going to help you. It's also worthy of spending time in checking your own belief systems around whatever areas of your life where you feel results are not as you desire. And that brings us to this fact that if anything needs to change for me to create a different reality, it is my belief around it. For example, whoever's participating fully today, and you're taking up and you've picked up one thing that you want to work on, okay? Ask yourself, write down, what is the area that I'm looking at today? Okay. And why I'm saying pick one thing, while we can work on a bunch of things, okay? Ask yourself this question. I'm sure everybody has had an experience of going to a buffet, right? What do we do when we go for a buffet? We eat. There is a lavish spread of things. You pick small things, small bites, you keep eating, you spend time. It's very enjoyable, very happy. But by the end of it, you're stuffed, feeling heavy, and then still wanting, oh, that one thing was very good, but I don't have space for any more, right? We've tasted a lot of things, but we haven't really been able to satisfy ourselves deeply with that one thing. And then mostly what we do is, okay, I'll come back one day and probably have just that, right? And that's what happens when we are actually focusing on too many things, our attention gets diverted. While if you recall from your memory, if you really enjoyed that one meal, you will notice there was just one dish. It could be anything. And if you have a memory of something very special that your mom used to make, it's probably because you were having just that one thing. So you were able to savor the entire taste and everything with it. It came with feelings, the taste, all our senses were engaged in it. The smell of it, you can remember, right? So that's why I'm saying for now, let's pick one thing. When you pick that one thing that you really want to change, ask yourself, what is your current belief around it? Let's say, for example, I pick career, okay? I want to advance in my career, I want to grow in my career. And now, what's my belief around it? What is the purpose for my desire? What do I want? I'm just giving random examples, and they may connect with you, they may not, because they're random examples. So think about it for yourself and write down if you can. Say, for example, if I'm just thinking to myself, okay, if I'm today working on career, I would say, for what purpose do I want to have this career? Okay, maybe it'll give me, of course, financial freedom. And what would be the purpose of that? I can, if I am financially free and if I'm financially independent, I can experience that independence. I experience growth. I experience that I can then give freely. I become more giving. And the list can go on. So, this is something that you have to do for yourself. Shall we just take a little break to see how everybody is doing? Are you able to connect with it? Any questions at this point? I'm happy to take a question. Happy to know how is it going. Rukaya, Alia, Aradhana, Priyanka, have you been able to pick one thing? It could be anything. It could be health. If you say that health is something that I want to work on and I want to create a different reality, then ask yourself, for what purpose do you want good health? What will it allow you to do? It would be helpful for me to know if you're with me. Hey, some answers would be nice. Okay, Armin says, okay. All right. It's all right. I just wanted to know if, these are things which are very private, which are just for you. So you can keep them to yourself. But just to know that you're able to play along would be nice. And with that, we can move on to the next. And what I prefer to do is, I'd prefer you to do is write down. Because if
Hi,
you do not, yes,
Saya. This is
hi,
Rukaya.
yes.
No, sorry, I couldn't switch on my mic previously. So, yeah, just to add to this, add to this in a sense, since you asked about what, I really want to change. Or, so I would say, so I've been taking a break from work, I think for the last 1.5 years, I think nearly. Uh, so with all this with all the load on me, I think procrastinating due to feeling overwhelmed, you know I think I chose to procrastinate because of the load and that feeling of being overwhelmed. And trying to get back to work, thinking like, okay, can I really do this again with the new responsibilities and the changes and then all that makes you feel like, oh my God, that's a lot to take in, and then you just push it aside and choose to procrastinate. So that is something that I have been fighting um in order to like remove or take away uh, for better results, like you say, with that step by step process that you were talking about, the CSBR. Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, I was just putting that scenario into this table of yours, and then I was like, okay, this actually falls in place, and probably this is what I'm trying to do right now, trying to change that behavior, change the state of mind for a better result in life.
Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing, Rugaya. Thank you for sharing. And you know what you're feeling is pretty normal, right? Because uh, procrastination, one of the most important things to remember is it doesn't necessarily mean that you're being lazy, okay? It is just that it's being termed like that, and now people assume that procrastination is synonymous to laziness. It is sometimes because what you're setting out to do is unknown, unfamiliar, right? So there is a little fear kicking in. Okay, so you keep pushing it away. Secondly, it's also because the task may be very daunting and may seem very humongous. Uh, and so the best thing is to cut it down and make it into bite-sized pieces, asking yourself, okay, what is the one step that I can do? So these are things which, during my mentorship program with my clients, I help them understand why they're procrastinating, what is the root cause behind it, what and how they can overcome it. Of course, because of positivity of time, and today we are, taking up a different subject, we cannot touch upon this in great length, but you can always ask yourself, what is the one thing that's holding me back from, what is my fear around the unknown? Ask yourself that. And if you need some more support, if you need to dig deeper, reach out. Feel free to reach out to me. We can connect over a call. I do offer a free discovery call and happy to help. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks. I think I think during some other session previously also I was talking about how slowing your pace, in what you want to do actually helps you, helps your mentally also it helps you out, when you feel like this. So I think, the choices that you make in how you want to really, put these things in place and help yourself out is also, very important. So,
Yes.
I think the process itself makes you figure things out, you know.
While you're saying that, I want to add
Mm.
what you're saying is right. And each one of us is unique, each one of us is different. So
Mm,
what works for one may not necessarily work for the other. And
exactly.
that is one thing I'm going to touch towards the end also, that why, while everywhere these days there is talk of life by design, there is talk of manifestation, there is talk of what you can do, you can create your life, why then a lot of people are not yet able to do it? So I'm going to talk about it a little later. And while then, Rukaya, can we just, if it's clear to you, can we move forward?
Yep, all good, all
Great.
good. Let's
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay. So the most important thing then is to write it down. If your goal is not written, it's just a dream. Now, once you've written it, it becomes a goal. Whatever you want to achieve, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to create, whatever is it that you want to change. Okay. And now, while I did give you an example of a buffet and having this great meal or a great buffet brunch where there's everything, life is like that, right? It's a buffet. We get so many different things to do in life. While it's good to enjoy that buffet from time to time for a more balanced and fulfilled living, what we can do is we can prioritize. So when having a specific focus for a certain short duration, it doesn't mean that, for example, when you're learning to ride a bike or when you're learning to drive, do you do it for 24 hours a day? No, right? You only allocate some specific amount of time during the day. It could be 1 hour, it could be 2 hour, it could be 3 hour. It depends on the uh, exercise, what you're learning, the skill you want to acquire, and how quickly or how fast you want to get there. So it all depends, and which is everyone's unique journey. Specify a time, but the fact and how the universe works is that energy flows where focus goes. So, whatever you're focusing on, all energies will start flowing towards it. And why I wish to highlight this today is, for a moment, what I want you all to do is don't think about the blue elephant, think about the green one. And at this point, I would definitely be happy to hear some answers from anybody. Help me understand, how many of you thought of the blue elephant first? Anybody who wishes to unmute or put it down in the chat, how many of you thought of the blue elephant first? Can you help me? Anybody? Yes, still thinking, Armin says. Anybody else? So what usually happens is whenever we tell ourselves, don't think of this thing, or, even when you're giving instructions to children and you say, don't jump, they jump even more, right? Have you noticed that? And why is that? Because for the mind to process anything, it has to have, or it rather creates a visual. So when you said, don't think of the blue element, the mind has already created an image of a blue elephant. Similarly, when you add a don't to your desire, you're actually focusing more on it. Rukaya, procrastination also happens because we use it negatively. I don't want to do this, or, I wish. So if the don'ts are added, we tend to procrastinate. And if you say, okay, I want to move forward, and maybe I'll design steps to moving forward, what is helpful is a separate exercise, which is called the backward goal setting planning, which we can, if we have a little time, I'll briefly touch upon it, or otherwise you can feel free to reach out to me and I'll help you with it. Write down your goal, because written is only a goal, and if not written, it's just a dream. And when you're dreaming, when you're writing down, please write down specifically what do you want. If you've written that, these are the 5 golden rules which you must keep in mind. Be very clear about what you want. Use only positive language, focusing on what you want. Believe in your dream. Because if you don't believe in it, then how do you expect the universe to believe in it, right? Know your why. And like I had just said a little earlier, I want to progress in my career. Why? I want to change the state of my finances. Why? I want to change my relationships the way they are. Why? What will it allow you to do, or who will it allow you to become? And then visualize your future self and create an image in the mind to familiarize your mind with it. You know what, at this point, I would love to do is, before I move forward, can I ask you all, because I would be happy to lead you to actually embodying it and ingraining it into your neurology. So take just 2 minutes, pick one thing for today, write it down clearly, use positive language, and how things in the universe work is, because you must have all heard, it's all in the power of now. So imagine as if it's done. Believe in it. You've got it. You've achieved it. And before that, you can ask yourself, why do I want it? So then you have this image of yourself. Why are you doing it? And then visualize it allowing you to do all that. So how you can do is you can actually begin the sentence with I now, whatever your dream is, it allows me to whatever, fill it. So 2 sentences together. I now have or do or whatever, and it allows me to create that, familiarize yourself with it, and just be careful of the role of self-talk, because that is most important, and we'll come back to it together. And if you're ready, once you've done it, then let's do it together. You can let me know when you're all ready, when you've written it, when you say, I have done, I now know, I now have, and it allows me to. Let me know when you're ready. There's a beautiful exercise that we can do together. Is everybody ready? Are you ready? Okay. Aradhana says ready. So I'll assume that's a ready for everybody. Now that you have that visual in mind, I want you to place your feet. Armin, thank you. That's super helpful. The thumbs up tells me you're ready too. I want you all to ground your feet firmly to the ground and put the pencil back, leave it there, and now sit back. Just notice the weight of your body on the chair that you're sitting. Take a deep breath in. Fill yourself with breath right up to your stomach. And then take a deep exhale. Release all the stress or tension that you notice in your body. Whatever the thought of how is it going to be, what's going to happen, how am I going to do, let the how, leave the how for the universe. You don't have to worry about it. All you need to know is, why do you want it? What will it allow you to do? Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, notice your body feeling lighter. With another deep inhalation, take in all the positivity that you can from the universe. And as you exhale, notice that all the thoughts are slowing down and you're willing to allow yourself to trust, to believe that the universe has your back. Take another deep breath in, giving yourself permission to further relax, relax, relax. And now as you completely surrender, it's not for you to worry about the how. All you need to know is why. And as you do so, notice and visualize little tiny roots growing down from your feet into the earth, grounding you solidly into the earth. And now visualize that through those roots, You're soaking in all the energy and the nourishment and the support and the love that you require. Just like a tree, you're being nourished, and every single cell of your body is being energized with that divine energy. And now notice the white light on the top of your head and see it falling through, making you glow. Now bring the picture of that reality that you wish to create and notice how you are. Notice everything that's allowing you to do. Notice how you feel. Think of things that you hear. What are you going to hear when you have it? What are you going to say when you have it? What are you going to do when you have it? And what are you going to feel when you have it? This is your moment now. Feel it done. It's done. It's done. Everything that you need and require is now within you. All you have to do is tap into this unlimited resource of energy and trust and the divine blessing that lies in you and bring it out. Now thank the universe for making it possible for you. And take another deep breath in. And as you exhale this time, feel even more gratitude. Thank the universe and be grateful for any one thing or one person that you can think of. Now appreciate one thing or a person who you'd like to thank, who has been instrumental in helping you reach where you are in the now. Think about one thing that you deeply care. And now think about the one thing that you will do to energize yourself every single day to power this dream of yours. Say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath in. Slowly begin to see and notice the weight of your body again on the chair, bringing yourself back to notice if you can hear any sound other than my voice around you. Bring your attention to any smell that you can smell in your environment. Bring yourself back to the now. Take another deep breath in, and whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes. And I will bring myself back to the question that Rukaya had asked and why. And when she was sharing, I also shared that everybody's journey is unique. And yet, you know, we've all been hearing of these secrets that we can all do it. And why some of us are yet not able to do it is because of three reasons. First, our own belief in our own desire and dream. Secondly, we fail to do the inner work, which means the most important thing is retraining our mind, our conditioning, our belief system. And the third thing is we go around talking to people who have either not done it for themselves or don't want to do it for themselves, which makes them the wrong people for this question or this desire that I have. So seek help from those who have done what you are willing to do. Associate with them, learn from them, and pave your own way. With that, we come to the end, and I'll leave you with another secret tip. And especially, Rukaya, this brings me from your own question. I have done it for myself. One of my mentors shared this, and I think I find it very powerful. You've done this. In a little prayer to the universe, you can also write, okay, dear universe, have my back when I go off track, or whatever your challenge may be. Dear universe, when you catch me procrastinating, please bring me back to the present. Dear universe, when you catch me not eating healthy, please bring me back. Dear universe, if you catch me worrying uselessly, please bring me back to the present moment. Write a little prayer to the universe, seal it, and put it somewhere, and consider it done. With that, and I want to express my gratitude to all of you, and I seek blessings of the divine for each one of you to have and be able to create the beautiful life that you desire. Please feel free to ask me anything if you still have questions. Thank you so much. I appreciate each one of you as you are. And you can find me on It's Her Way, reach out to me. I do discovery calls and connection calls every single day. We can fix up a suitable and convenient time that suits you. Feel free to ask any question. If you're hesitant to ask now, if it seems too private, please reach out to me.
Thanks, Namita.
Thank you.
It's a deep morning, which is why I was thinking that it needs to have a personal reflection time frame as well. Thank you for sharing the fact that we can connect with you after the session as well. So that would be much appreciated. I truly believe if we can change so many things about our mind and the way it talks to us, we can change the world around us also. It kind of is a chain reaction.
100%.
And we just need to train ourselves better, train ourselves more consciously to do that. And more content we consume, which is leading to that path, it will keep us on the right path. So
thank you for those reflections, for summing it up so beautifully. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining. Namita's profile has just been put on the chat. You're welcome, Namita. And yeah, we'll see you again.
This is what you can do for yourself, each one of you. Like, what are you taking away from the session? I would love to hear your feedback, because it helps all of us, me included, to see how I can help and support my clients better. So what are you taking away from today's session? What action can you immediately take if there is a barrier that you think you face? And what will be the benefit of overcoming that barrier and implementing this learning that you've learned today? So you can, either take a screenshot, write this down, do a self-reflection, and feel free to reach out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Divya. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Namita. Thank you very much. These sessions are